He's a major player in the Ugandan tourism sector.
Personally, I've traveled the whole world. And I think one of the things that I am advantaged with is having seen my own country and seen East Africa as a tour guide and seen how the tourists were, shocked about the beauty of this area.
Discovering a love of nature, he's made it his goal to share his passion with the world.
A lot of people in Africa think that everything important is out of Africa. Africa's got all the minerals. Africa's got all the attractions. Africa's got everything to make us not want to be anywhere in the world. Yeah.
This week on African Voices, meet Amos Wekesa, a Ugandan tour guide who went on to form one of the country's largest travel companies. Amos Wekesa was born during the rule of Ugandan President Idi Amin, a time when the country struggled with ethnic oppression.
I was born in 1973 in a village called Wakaka on the border of Uganda and Kenya, into a smuggling family. At the time I was born, it was a very difficult time for every Ugandan because that was the time when Idi Amin had taken over power in 1971. So there was a lot of challenges economically for Ugandans, and so people tried to find ways in which to survive. And therefore my family was close to the border, and all they could do was smuggle stuff from Kenya, and I think as a child I was involved in smuggling, I think by the age of 7. We were so poor that by the age of 10 I'd never gone to school, and an organization called Salvation Army, which is a Christian organization, came to my village looking for like 2 poor boys to help.
The Salvation Army would end up choosing Wekesa and sponsoring his education until the end of high school.
After school, I struggled. It was extremely very difficult time. I walked from office to office looking for my first job. And so after probably 5 months of working, I was given a job as a sweeper. I was sweeping on office and taking mail to the post office. And I was earning $10 a month. I was living on about $50, to be honest, a week at that time. Of course, you could survive, you could go by at that time. And therefore, a lot of the times I had one meal to eat as an individual. But I knew that one day things would change for me, so I would continue working hard.
Wekesa would go on to work other jobs, each time saving his money. He would eventually settle into a job that would lead to his future profession.
Time came when an organization a tour company was looking for a tour guide. And so when I became a tour guide, I thought my life was sorted. And I remember very well my first trip. We had 3 tourists, and we went around for 15 days. We were doing camping, so you had to get a tent, put everything up, and had to cook breakfast for the guys and stay at the campfire until the last person finishes smoking, maybe 3 a.m. It was extremely very draining job.
In 2001, Wekesa formed his own tour group, Great Lake Safaris. In the beginning, he made ends meet by hiring cars out for weddings, but a year later, he would get his first break.
In January 2002, I took out a lady called Cynthia, who had come from World Bank, and she wanted to do a 3-day trip. So this lady enjoyed her trip. And she said, you know what? I've enjoyed my trip and I am going to go back to the US. I am 100% sure that I will do something for you guys. I was like, okay, when she said, I'm going to do something for you, I'm not the type who thinks that people owe me anything. But little did I know that after some time, she would actually recommend us. So in May, she recommended a group that had come to do research on malaria. They also had a trip with me for 3 days to Queen Elizabeth National Park. That's exactly what she had done.
Despite having a reputation as a good tour guide, a year and a half after setting up Great Lake Safaris, business was not going well.
I've been contemplating closing my business. And all the negative voices come. People come and say, you know, you're born in a poor family. We told you can't do business. Hey, man, I mean, 99% of the people that I met were just telling me, you can't succeed. Life is, you know, that you don't have a background of business. But I knew in my heart that, you know what, I think God has given me this opportunity and tried me out, and I'm going to make sure I succeed in this thing.
Wekesa almost closed down his business, but an encounter with an American journalist would soon turn his luck around.